You're fast asleep, it's quiet, everything feels peaceful, and then out of nowhere, a sharp, tight pain grabs your leg. You jolt awake. It's your calf, hard as a rock. Your toes curl inward. The muscles feel like they're about to snap. You gasp, you stretch, you try to stand, but it takes a full minute before the pain even begins to ease. That, right there, is a leg cramp, a muscle spasm that stops you cold. And if you're someone who's experienced it, you know how brutal it can be. Now here's the thing. Most people just blame dehydration or say, it happens when you get older. And yes, that's partly true. But leg cramps, especially at night, are often a sign of vitamin imbalance. Not a disease, not an injury, just a small missing piece in your daily nutrition. So what if you could fix it? Not with painkillers, not with stretching routines, but by simply adding the right vitamins back into your body? In this video, we'll uncover 5 specific vitamins that can prevent and even stop leg cramps almost instantly if you're missing them. We're going to go deeper than just eat bananas or drink more water. We'll talk about what your muscles actually need to stay relaxed, what your nerves need to avoid misfiring, and why some people suffer from cramps more as they age, even when they're otherwise healthy. You'll also learn the warning signs of low vitamin levels, signs that most people ignore until the cramps begin. And here's the best part. These vitamins aren't exotic. They're not expensive. They're already available in foods you may eat daily, or in affordable supplements at any pharmacy. But before we jump into the list, let's understand something very important. Why do cramps happen in the first place? Because the answer to that tells us exactly why vitamins are the missing piece. Your muscles rely on a delicate balance of minerals and vitamins to contract and relax properly. Even a small drop in that balance, even a slight deficiency, and the communication between nerves and muscles breaks down. This leads to involuntary contractions, cramps. So if you're ready to finally get rid of those midnight spasms or random daytime muscle pulls, stay with me, because up next, we'll explore the first vitamin that stops leg cramps fast, and how you'll know if you're running low. Let's start with the most common, most overlooked, and most essential cramp stopper of them all. Magnesium. You've probably heard of it. You might even be taking it. But what most people don't realize is how deeply magnesium is connected to muscle control, and how easy it is to become deficient without knowing it. Here's what magnesium does inside your body. It helps muscle fibers relax after they contract. When you flex a muscle, like walking or standing, your body sends a signal to contract. But what tells it to release? That's magnesium's job. Without enough magnesium, your muscles don't relax fully. They twitch, they seize up, they cramp. This happens silently at first. Little spasms in your feet, your eyelids, your calves. Then one night it strikes hard, and you're left gasping from a full-blown leg cramp. Now here's where it gets interesting. More than 50% of adults don't get enough magnesium from food. And if you're over 50, that number is even higher. Why? Because modern diets are low in leafy greens, seeds, and nuts, the richest sources of magnesium. And stress, caffeine, alcohol, and even some medications can deplete magnesium levels quickly. So what can you do? First, eat magnesium-rich foods. Spinach, almonds, pumpkin seeds, black beans, dark chocolate, and avocado. But sometimes food isn't enough, especially if your cramps are frequent. That's where magnesium supplements come in. There are many forms, but for leg cramps, 2 stand out: magnesium glycinate and magnesium citrate. They're easy on the stomach and well absorbed by the body. Start small, maybe 200 to 400 mg daily and taken in the evening. Many people notice fewer cramps within days. But here's the warning. Magnesium can interact with blood pressure or heart medications. So always talk to your doctor first, especially if you have any chronic conditions. Magnesium is your muscle's off switch. Without it, the system stays stuck in on. Cramps are just the signal that something's missing. If magnesium is the mineral that helps muscles relax, then vitamin D is the quiet director behind the scenes, making sure magnesium even gets absorbed in the first place. Most people know vitamin D for its role in bone health. But fewer people realize that a deficiency in vitamin D can lead directly to muscle weakness, spasms, and yes, cramps. Here's how it works. Your body needs vitamin D to absorb calcium and magnesium effectively. Without enough of it, no matter how much magnesium you eat or take, it doesn't get used properly. It just passes through. This leads to low magnesium inside the cells, exactly where you need it to prevent cramps. In other words, even if you're taking a magnesium supplement, if you're low on vitamin D, you might still get leg cramps. But here's the problem. Most adults are low in vitamin D, especially those who spend a lot of time indoors, live in cloudy climates, wear sunscreen regularly, are over 60, or have darker skin, which naturally reduces vitamin D production from sunlight. And unlike other deficiencies, vitamin D doesn't always show clear symptoms until it's very low. But leg cramps, fatigue, bone pain, and slow muscle recovery, these can all be early signs. So what's the fix? Step 1. Get more sunlight. Just 15-30 minutes a day, ideally on bare skin, and can make a difference. But for many people, that's not enough, so supplements become the backup. Most adults do well with 1,000 to 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 per day. It's the most bioavailable form and works best when taken with a meal that contains fat, since it's a fat-soluble vitamin. But as always, get your blood levels tested if possible. Too much vitamin D can also cause problems, especially if taken in very high doses over time. Here's the bottom line. Magnesium handles the muscle. Vitamin D helps your body use that magnesium. Together, they form a powerful pair, and when both are balanced, cramps often disappear. Next, we'll move into a lesser-known but incredibly powerful B vitamin, one that supports nerve function and keeps your muscles calm from the inside out. You've heard of vitamin B12? You've probably taken B6. But the one B vitamin that quietly plays a key role in stopping leg cramps, yet rarely gets attention, is vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. Let's break it down. Most muscle cramps don't actually begin in the muscle. They begin in the nervous system. Your nerves control how and when your muscles contract. If the signal is off, even slightly, your muscles can misfire, overreact, or seize up without warning. That's when you feel the sharp, sudden pain of a cramp. And this is where vitamin B1 comes in. Thiamine is essential for proper nerve conduction, the way electrical signals travel through your body. It acts like an energy source for your nervous system. Without it, nerve signals get sluggish, confused, or hyperactive. And when that happens, muscles pay the price. Now here's what's scary. Thiamine deficiency is much more common than people think. It can be caused by poor diet, especially high-carb, low-nutrient foods, alcohol consumption, diuretic medications, chronic stress, digestive disorders that limit absorption. Even mild deficiency can cause symptoms like tingling in the legs or feet, muscle twitches, fatigue, brain fog, and yes, nighttime leg cramps. So how do you get more B1? Foods rich in thiamine include whole grains, legumes, sunflower seeds, pork, and green peas. But thiamine is sensitive. It's easily destroyed by heat, alcohol, and sugar, which means even if you eat these foods, you may not be getting enough. That's why supplementation helps. Look for benfotiamine, a fat-soluble form of B1 that absorbs better and stays in the body longer. Some people also use B-complex supplements to cover all B vitamins at once, which can be helpful if multiple deficiencies are at play. Now here's something fascinating. In several small clinical studies, thiamine supplements have reduced frequency and intensity of leg cramps, especially in older adults. It's not a magic pill, but for those running low, the relief can feel magical. If you've ever felt pins and needles in your legs, or noticed your feet fall asleep more than usual, you might be running low on vitamin B12. This vitamin is often called the energy vitamin. And while it does support energy production, its more critical job is protecting your nerves. Let's connect the dots. Muscles don't operate on their own. They wait for electrical signals from your nerves. Those signals must travel fast, accurately, and continuously, or else things go wrong. A deficiency in vitamin B12 slows these signals down. It damages the protective sheath around nerves, called the myelin sheath. And when that layer breaks down, nerves start sending the wrong messages. That's when you start experiencing things like tingling or numbness, burning sensations in feet, muscle weakness, and unpredictable muscle cramps, especially at night. In severe B12 deficiency, these symptoms can mimic neurological diseases. That's how important this vitamin is. So who's at risk? A lot more people than you'd think. B12 absorption gets harder with age. especially after 50. It's also more common in vegetarians and vegans, since B12 is mostly in animal foods. People with digestive issues like acid reflux, IBS, or celiac disease. Anyone taking antacids or metformin regularly. Now here's the tricky part. You might be eating enough B12, but not absorbing it. That's why B12 supplements, especially in the form of methylcobalamin, are often recommended. They bypass the gut and absorb directly under the tongue or via injection. If you've been dealing with leg cramps plus fatigue, tingling, or numbness, this might be your missing link. Many people report dramatic relief from nighttime cramps within 1 to 2 weeks of correcting a B12 deficiency. But don't overdo it. B12 is water-soluble, but high doses should still be guided by your doctor. By now, you've learned how. Magnesium calms your muscles. Vitamin D helps absorb it. Vitamin B1 steadies the nerve signals. And vitamin B12 protects the entire communication line. But there's one more vitamin that ties all of this together, especially when dehydration and electrolyte loss are part of the problem. And we'll cover that in the next part. It's the one vitamin athletes use, and older adults often forget. It doesn't get the spotlight. It's not trending on wellness blogs. But vitamin E might be one of the most underrated vitamins when it comes to relieving leg cramps, especially in older adults. So what does vitamin E do? Most people know it as an antioxidant, protecting cells from damage. But its role in muscle health goes deeper. Vitamin E improves circulation by keeping blood vessels healthy and flexible. Better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients reach your muscles, and waste products like lactic acid are removed faster. This matters because poor circulation is one of the hidden causes of leg cramps, especially at night. But it does more than just boost blood flow. Vitamin E also helps stabilize cell membranes, including those in your muscles and nerves. This reduces the chances of erratic signals that can trigger sudden contractions. In one small clinical study, older patients who took vitamin E daily reported fewer nighttime cramps, especially when paired with magnesium. So how do you get more vitamin E? It's found in sunflower seeds, almonds, hazelnuts, spinach, avocado, wheat germ oil, but there's a catch. The typical modern diet is low in these foods, and cooking methods like frying or excessive heating can destroy vitamin E content. That's why supplementation may help, especially for those over 60. Look for natural D-alpha tocopherol, the most bioavailable form. Typical doses range from 100 to 400 IU per day. As always, check with your doctor before starting, especially if you're on blood thinners, since vitamin E can slightly increase bleeding risk at high doses. So to recap, we've now covered 5 vitamins that can prevent or stop leg cramps. 1. Magnesium relaxes muscle fibers. 2. Vitamin D boosts absorption and balance. Vitamin B1, thiamine, supports nerve signaling. 4. Vitamin B12 protects nerves and prevents misfires. 5. Vitamin E improves blood flow and muscle recovery. Each one tackles a different piece of the cramp puzzle. But taking them blindly isn't the solution. You need to understand which one you might be missing, and how your lifestyle, age, and diet may be contributing. In the next parts, we'll walk through how to build a safe, effective vitamin routine, and how to spot the signs that your cramps are improving. We'll also cover natural food sources, dosage tips, and how to avoid over-supplementing. So you now know the 5 vitamins that help stop leg cramps. But here's the question everyone asks next. How do I actually use them? What time? What form? How much? And how do I make sure I'm not wasting money or taking too much? Let's build a simple daily routine that's safe, practical, and effective based on your needs. Morning routine. Start with nerve support. Vitamin B1, thiamine, 100 to 250 millimeters. Vitamin B12, methylcobalamin, 1000 mcg, sublingual or capsule. These 2 are best taken early in the day since they support energy and nerve function. They're water-soluble, meaning your body only absorbs what it needs and flushes the rest. So no need to worry about buildup. If you're taking a B-complex supplement instead, make sure it includes high enough levels of B1 and B12. You can take it with or without food, though breakfast is usually ideal. Midday, food first, supplements if needed. Try to focus on food-based vitamins in the middle of the day, Have a lunch rich in leafy greens, spinach, kale for magnesium, nuts and seeds, almonds, sunflower seeds for vitamin E, fatty fish like salmon, or eggs for vitamin D. If your diet is already rich in these, great. If not, consider a multivitamin or individual supplements to fill the gaps. But remember, food first, supplements second. Supplements work best when paired with real nutrients and natural enzymes. Evening, relaxation and muscle support. Magnesium glycinate or citrate, 200 to 400 milligrams. Vitamin D3, 1000 to 2000 IU with dinner. This combo supports muscle relaxation, calcium absorption, and overnight recovery. Magnesium is best taken in the evening because it also promotes better sleep. And that's when most people experience leg cramps. Vitamin D, although flexible, is fat-soluble, so pairing it with dinner, which usually contains fats, helps absorb it better. A few quick tips. Always check your current multivitamin or medications to avoid doubling up. Avoid megadosing. More isn't better. Balance is key. Hydration still matters. Vitamins help, but water and electrolytes are part of the equation too. And most importantly, give it time. Leg cramps caused by deficiencies don't vanish in one night. But with consistent intake, most people notice big changes in 7 to 21 days. Not all leg cramps are caused by the same deficiency. That's why some people take magnesium and feel better, while others see no change, because the real issue lies elsewhere. So how can you tell which vitamin your body is really lacking? Let's break it down based on symptoms, patterns, and risk factors. If your cramps are sharp, sudden, and happen at night, you may be low in magnesium. Other signs: twitching eyelids or hands, restless legs, difficulty sleeping, anxiety or irritability. Why? Your muscles are contracting, but not relaxing, due to low intracellular magnesium. This is the most common cause of nighttime leg cramps, especially in older adults or those who sweat a lot. If you avoid sunlight and feel weak or moody, you may be low in vitamin D. Other signs: bone or joint pain, low mood, especially in winter, chronic fatigue, frequent infections. Why? Without vitamin D, your body can't regulate calcium and magnesium properly. It's common in people who stay indoors or wear sunscreen all the time. If you feel tingling, numbness, or nerve pain, you may be low in vitamin B12 or B1, thiamine. Other signs: numbness in feet or hands, memory problems, unexplained fatigue, feeling off mentally. Why? B12 and B1 deficiencies impact nerve conduction, not just muscles. This can lead to misfired signals and involuntary muscle spasms, especially in the legs and feet. If you feel cramps after exercise or in hot weather, you may need more vitamin E or electrolytes in general. Other signs: muscle stiffness after activity, slow recovery from workouts, cold hands or feet, poor circulation. Why? Vitamin E improves blood flow, and low electrolyte levels, especially potassium and sodium, can worsen cramping after sweating. Of course, symptoms can overlap, and you may be dealing with more than one deficiency at once. That's why a balanced approach, supported by food, supplements, and hydration, works best. If you're unsure, a basic blood test can check levels of B12, vitamin D, magnesium, and iron. But even without testing, your body speaks through subtle clues. All you have to do is listen. You don't always need a cabinet full of supplements to prevent leg cramps. In fact, many of the vitamins we've talked about are already found in common foods, if you know where to look. And often, your body absorbs these nutrients better when they come from real food instead of pills. So let's talk about what your plate should look like if you want to naturally support your muscles, nerves, and circulation, and keep those cramps away. Let's start with magnesium, the most important mineral for muscle relaxation. It's found in plenty of everyday foods, but it's especially rich in leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard. A single cup of cooked spinach can provide over 150 millimoles of magnesium. Other great sources include pumpkin seeds, almonds, black beans, and even dark chocolate. Yes, real dark chocolate, with at least 70% cocoa. For breakfast, a smoothie with spinach, banana, and almond butter gives you a strong magnesium boost to start the day. Next, vitamin D. The best source, of course, is sunlight. But if you're not getting regular sun exposure, food helps too. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are rich in natural vitamin D. Egg yolks and fortified foods like certain milks and cereals can also contribute, but they offer much smaller amounts. To really improve your levels through food, focus on fish 2 to 3 times a week and try to get safe, direct sunlight on your skin. Even just 15 minutes a day makes a difference. Now for the B vitamins, especially B1 and B12. Thiamine, B1, is found in whole grains like brown rice and oats, as well as legumes, sunflower seeds. B12, on the other hand, is only found in animal-based foods. That means meat, dairy, eggs, and fish. If you're vegetarian or vegan, it's very difficult to get enough B12 from food alone, and supplementation is almost always necessary. But if you do eat animal products, a couple servings of fish or eggs per day usually covers your needs. Vitamin E, the final piece of the puzzle, is found in seeds, nuts, and healthy oils. Sunflower seeds are a standout, along with almonds, hazelnuts, and wheat germ oil. Avocados also contain vitamin E, along with healthy fats that support absorption of other vitamins like D and A. Try a salad with spinach, avocado, olive oil, and sunflower seeds. That's a cramp-fighting meal in a bowl. Eating for cramp prevention doesn't mean giving up flavor. It just means making small adjustments to include the nutrients your body's asking for. Focus on variety, color, and real ingredients. The more natural your diet becomes, the more your body starts to self-correct. Cramping becomes less frequent. Muscles recover faster. Sleep improves. It's not a quick fix, but it's a lasting one. In the final part, we'll bring everything together. We'll talk about how to track your progress, what results to expect, and how to stay consistent without overcomplicating your routine. Leg cramps can feel mysterious. One night, they're gone. The next, they strike like lightning. But when you understand what your body's missing and give it the support it needs, that mystery starts to fade. It doesn't happen all at once. You may not notice a difference on day one, but over the course of a week or two, when the right vitamins begin building back into your system, things change. You stop waking up in the middle of the night clutching your calf. Your feet feel less restless. That dull twitching you once ignored vanishes. You stretch more easily, you sleep more deeply, and most importantly, you stop living in fear of the next sudden cramp. Here's the truth: cramps aren't random. They're a signal. Your muscles are trying to tell you that something is off, something that, most of the time, can be fixed with simple nutrients. You don't need to rely on painkillers. You don't need to fear aging. You just need to feed your muscles what they've been missing. So if you're ready to take the next step, I've made it easy for you. In the description below, I've added links to the most effective high-quality supplements, the exact types of magnesium, vitamin D, B1, B12, and E we talked about in this video. No confusion, no guesswork, just the essentials. You can click those links, learn more, and choose what fits your needs best. Always start small. Listen to your body. And if you're ever unsure, check with your doctor before adding anything new to your routine. And if this video helped you, even a little, share it with someone else who's been quietly suffering from cramps. They may not talk about it, but they'll thank you when they sleep through the night without pain for the first time in weeks. Leg cramps don't have to be part of your life. You can take control, one small step at a time. Thanks for watching and take care of yourself from the inside out.